ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's video is going to be unfiltered, which sounds wild because, isn't that what it always is? But this is genuinely one of the most. This is the most inspired I've been to make a video, and it's because I've been on technology a lot throughout the day, and I don't know if that's what caused it, but something basically caused me to just be like, I need to get off my computer, off my phone. But then I kind of just went into this state of just being like, kind of just flatline. Like, it wasn't like upset or anything. And it's weird when you get in these moods because it's just like sometimes it just happens, right? And I wanted to make this for those of you out there who ever have that type of day, right? Like, you see me in these stupid bloggers, which some people like, so glad to hear it. I hope you're good, by the way. I'm just going right into it. But yeah, so I wear the blockers. I try to get sunlight. I try to eat the right things. You try to do all these things, and they're optimal for the gut, and then it helps your brain, and it helps all these things. But then, maybe it is something I ate. Maybe it's that I was staring at a computer for a long time throughout the day. There's probably an actual reason. But maybe it just happens, right? And maybe that isn't necessarily a horrible thing, right? Like, okay, yeah, I mean, eating the right thing's good for you. Staying hydrated is good for you. Like, all these things are good for you. But sometimes, you know what? You just kind of feel, and it's not even bad. And I realized that because I started to play into it. I started listening to, I'm going to put you guys on. I'm feeling very, I feel flatlined, but I feel very, grateful. Because recently I finished watching Loki, and there's a track at the end called Glorious Purpose, or Purpose is Glorious. Heavenly. And I say this with full sincerity. There's not a hint of joking in me. Pure joy. I mean, it's like a sad, it's like a mellow, it's weird. It's like just listen to it. Just listen to it. Another one is C418 Minecraft. Any Minecraft music, anything Minecraft. It's mainly for the nostalgia, but it's literally just a beautiful soundtrack. I mean, even if you didn't play it as a kid, but I did play it as a kid. But yeah, in tonight's video, so anyway, I say that because I was listening to those tracks and journaling, actually, kind of doing a mix. I was looking back at old journal entries because I don't often do that. I'm very, I don't want to label myself as that, but I'm not too good at reflecting. I write a lot of things. I leave voice notes for myself, and I never go back and learn from them. So it's like, well, you're letting things repeat themselves. And anyway, tonight's video, as I sat and listened to Purpose is Glorious and C418, I believe the track is Minecraft, it felt good to just allow myself to feel how I felt. And it doesn't even necessarily feel bad. So anyway, where am I going with this? In this video, I want to share with you some quotes. So in my journal, I just kind of write my thoughts. I used to have a setup for this. I used to have the split into things for I watch a YouTube video or a podcast or I read a book and blah, blah, blah. And eventually I was just like, no, I just want to do thoughts. I can leave notes for those things elsewhere. And in the beginning, I put quotes. And these were quotes. And I'm going to do an annual journal or however often I need them. And they were just some of my favorite quotes that I heard. But I started to write my own, and I really liked them. So I'm going to share some with you, not to give myself too much credit, but I liked them. And I felt wrong. I was like, I can't write down my own quote. And I'm like, it's my journal. I can do whatever I want. So the reason I say this feels good, or this feels very inspired, the most inspired I felt, is because the state I'm in, I felt compelled to make a video. And I felt like, once again, we see why label a scenario, because the mellowness I felt tonight, or the flat line, or the upset, or whatever you want to call it, whatever label you want to put on it, it led to this video. It led to my, slight introspection of me listening to a Loki, end of a Loki soundtrack and writing down some quotes. And I just hope this helps you, because I feel compelled to share some of these, because I just feel like there needs to be a video out there for sometimes when you just feel like that, right? Like you think you're doing the right things, or it appears that you're doing the right things, and something's just not right. You know what I mean? Like I have a lot to be grateful for. This channel is going really well. Yeah, there's just like not many reasons to be upset. It's not to say I am. It's just like a little weird plateau feeling. I don't know how to describe it, but I think there needs to be a video for that. So let me tell you some of my quotes. I'll see if maybe I do just a few and rant on them. We'll see how it goes, but I'm really excited for this video. So yeah, let's get into it. Hope you're well, by the way. Hopefully this light isn't shining bright. Looks fun. It's a little harsh. Okay, how about this one? The hardest part about being successful is getting the chance to be alive. So, I won't talk about this one too long. This was but relates back to my You Won the Lottery video. The odds of you being born, according to a Gary Vaynerchuk video, is 400 trillion to 1. That is ridiculous odds. Ridiculous odds. If I told you you'd 400 trillion to 1 on any gamble, probably wouldn't take it. But here you are, with 100% certainty. So, when you say things like, I want to make a certain amount of money, or I want this, and you make it so far up and make it seem out of reach, it's almost funny. It's like your odds of winning at gambling, right, are so high. You're the master at it. You're the master. I mean, you won 400 trillion to 1. So it just reminded myself that anytime I say I could never get 100,000 subs on my ASMR channel, I could never make money in a business, I could never do this XYZ, it's funny to remind myself that the hardest part about getting any of those things isn't actually the movement towards them. It's the chance to be alive. Hard to do any of it when you're not alive. And to be successful, you first, as far as I know, have to be alive. And as far as I know, the hardest part to achieving anything is to first be alive. And like I said in the lottery video, you beat those odds. You won. So you're halfway there almost, right? And it's a very, supposed to be a very inspiring, you know what I mean? Not should be, it is, right? I mean, you did beat a lot of odds. I mean, a lot had to happen for you to be here right now. A lot. And a lot of people don't give that enough credit. So, there's one quote down. We'll see how many we zoom through. Maybe I can make a part 2 for this, because maybe I should do this every night, because I don't sit with my thoughts as much as I want to. And this was after maybe 20 minutes, you know what I mean? Just throwing a good Minecraft track, a good old track, and just kind of sit. But yeah, I just had a moment of I can't be on the tech anymore, and here I am now back on tech. Not really on tech, but but whatever. This was an interesting one. Look at you two, having loud, avid conversations and pretending you're alone. I don't know where that came from. It's sort of this, I guess it stemmed from this constant feeling like there's a conversation happening, but it's like, how is that possible? It's just you conversation. But it made me feel better because I think a lot of the times maybe we feel alone, or the sense of like, yeah, being alone. And it's funny because like you're always talking up there. I mean, maybe this is for obviously only my experience, but I know a lot of people have a voice in their head. Yeah, it was just a call out to that constant. There's always noise. It's never quiet. I mean, the moment you try to quiet it, just sit with yourself for a minute, right? Like, try to stop thinking. It's hard. So there's this ever-flowing stream of thoughts and of consciousness, and that's kind of what this quote was about, right? Like, look at you two, having a loud, having conversation and pretending you're alone. You know what I mean? It's funny. It's like, are you alone? It's interesting. I don't even know if I have more to add to that. I think I need to think more into that. But hopefully you're kind of getting the gist. Cool. I like this one. Your opinion, not mine, your opinion matters the most. I can prove it. Because when you say it doesn't, you believe it. Maybe I'm hyping myself up too much, but I like that. Because it speaks to me, right? I mean, these came from the dome up here. Your opinion matters the most. I can prove it. Because when you say it doesn't, you believe it. Now, this one's powerful, I think, because everyone out there who doesn't value their opinion, or the hierarchy, right? They value their mom's opinion, their dad's opinion, siblings, friends, etc., all over their own, or some random person's opinion, right? They just take everything as like, okay, whatever these people say about me, it is true. It shuts it down immediately. Because if I said to you right now, and you knew in your heart, right? So I say, your opinion matters the most, and deep down you're like, that's not true. My opinion doesn't matter the most. I just proved it to you by using your own logic. I just told you that your opinion does matter the most, because when you say it doesn't matter the most, you believe it. Dare I say more? I mean, again, it's like using your own logic against you in a good way, right? So that's why I really liked that one. I thought it was powerful, because it was like, yeah, anyone, including myself, who really deep down thinks like my opinion isn't the most powerful. Like if I said something like, I am this way, and someone else said something else, would I then conform to that opinion? Would I value that opinion over that one? So I don't feel like I've ever had this healthy, like, I am the ultimate opinion of myself, because I get to make that choice. I've never felt that, but the moment I wrote that, it kind of started to feel like, you know what, maybe your opinion, whether you like it or not, is the one that matters the most. And it is, right? But it's like I can't even help it. Even when I say it isn't, I believe that I said that about myself, that my opinion doesn't matter the most. I made that judgment. So I think it's a powerful one. Let's look at some other ones here. Debating. This one's a pretty wholesome one. No matter what's going on, you're a magical being of light, having a human experience in an incomprehensible universe. Whether you believe or not you're a being of light, or you're a soul, or you're something outside of it, it's kind of uplifting, because it's like, it doesn't matter if you're anxious, it doesn't matter if you're depressed, it doesn't matter if you're in a bad spot, it doesn't matter if you're at the top of the world, it doesn't matter if you're happy, it doesn't matter if you're having a good time. No no matter what circumstance you're in, bad or good, you are a magical being in a magical universe. Simple as that. Kind of just uplifting, right? Because in my moment of what felt like being low, I was like, that doesn't take away from the fact that I am still here. Still technically a miracle within a miracle, right? And here you are, stumbling upon this channel, right? And it's all according to plan, or maybe not, I don't know. But you're here, listening to this, maybe resonating with what I'm saying. And that's pretty rare, pretty weird, that everything's aligning like that. So, just kind of an uplifting thing to think anytime you're feeling low, which is like, even if I'm feeling low, there's still a lot of magic happening here, right? There's still something to be grateful for. Yeah. Oh, okay. This one I like because, for starters, I'm going to put everybody on. If you don't know who Zach Bush is, brilliant. I can't even begin to describe how brilliant this man is. He is, I can't even say it, used to be an endocrinologist, studied cancer, was trying to make a cure for cancer. I don't really know what he is, a scientist, a intellectual, etc. Just search him up. He's amazing, and he's talking about how humans are causing their own extinction. It's going to happen sooner than we think, so kind of a little bland, but he's very hopeful, very optimistic, and just so much depth to him. Talks about life, talks about death, talks about what we really are post-death, how to, but like also just like total logical things. So if you're into like health, and I mean, he talks about like regenerative soil and food system and all this stuff that's like, I'd argue the very logical man's like, okay, I want to eat good, I want to be healthy, I want to blah, 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 but then he also goes very spiritual, very life, etc. So the reason I say this is because this quote, I feel like, came from him, just listening to so much of him as of late, and yeah, this is a wholesome one. So people may have more money, more talent, etc. But what everybody really has that matters is that they're the only one of them ever. And in that itself, it is enough. In that itself, you are enough. There is no goal. There is no more that has to be done. Simply you being here now is all that is required. And you're doing a damn good job. That's a hard one because even when I say I'm enough, or you affirm that, or like whatever it is, right? There's this twinge of like, you're just not there yet. And yeah, like you can live up to like, yeah, okay, I can become a better person over time and all this stuff, but not many people realize that. I always feel like I have to, like I just think about these people, right? Someone who's super smart, or someone who's super rich, or someone who's super charismatic, or someone who's super this. And I tend to think, oh, they really did it, right? They really achieved their, struggling to like articulate this really, but there's just this sense, right, of like, you aren't what they became. And not to discredit their work, right? Like, they worked hard for something and they got it, and you're just not that, because you just didn't do that, right? It could be anybody. It could be like Albert Einstein, or it could be like LeBron James in the NBA, right? But there's this sense of like, well, only when I get to that point of feeling like LeBron in my field, or Albert Einstein in my field, or will I then be my unique self, right? When I, or something like that, right? I hope I'm saying that right. But it's so weird to think that you don't fulfill some divine plan, divine purpose, some crazy blah 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 right now, sitting here watching some dude in blue light blockers whisper into a microphone, you are enough. It's crazy. It's not crazy, but it is crazy to hear that. That even though all these people who we put up here, right? They did amazing things. They did awesome things. But at the fundamental core, the thing that's cool about them isn't the feats, isn't the accomplishments. It's that they were the only them that there ever was. Yes, I'm not saying their accomplishments don't mean anything, and that yours don't. But you never had to do anything. You never actually had to do anything to be unique, to be you. No, you were always from the beginning. Whether you did something, whether you did the right thing, whether you did whatever. That's what everyone has, unique to themselves, is that they were them. And that there's this no sense of there's this long path ahead of me, there's this daunting path. No, just being you is it. Like, it's hard to articulate. It's like, what? Because some people, like if you're really thinking about this, some people this might be, because I know for me, it's just like, it can't be that, like, no, like, I need to fulfill, and like, again, you can still do things, but you get my point. It's like, you might get to a point where you realize I never had to do any of that, and I like to imagine that the higher being, the universe, God, whatever, was just like, you did great, but you didn't have to do any of that. You were always enough from the beginning. You were chasing to be enough, but you had it the whole time, right? You never had to do any of that. If only you realized it sooner, right? It's powerful. I think it's powerful. I don't know. What else do we got here? How far are we? 24 minutes. Probably just cut it off after. I could probably finish here. Give yourself some credit. You're painting a masterpiece with no experience. Bars, I'd say. Yeah. Give yourself some credit. I mean, you are literally painting. I mean, the quote kind of says it all. You're painting a masterpiece with no experience. You've never done this before. You're messing up. You're putting paint all over the canvas, but you're fixing it. And you're realizing, oh wait, that mistake led to kind of a cool little pattern there, and it led to the actual depth of the art. Like, the art's good because of that. That's weird how that works. That's weird that the whole time I wanted to paint the perfect picture, but I just messed up the stroke, and now it's better. But you don't see that when you mess it up. It's a problem, and you mess up, and you mess up, and you do good, and you mess up, and you do good, mess up, and you step back, and you go, whoa. Right? At the end of life, you might just be like, damn, that's weird. That's a collection of weird things. That's a collection of horrible atrocities. Which, did I just say the same thing twice, basically? Who knows? Full of great things, full of atrocities, and it's just like, how did the good and the bad and the ugly and the beautiful and all of it just make that awesome painting? It doesn't make sense. It makes no sense. It doesn't make sense now. When you step back and see the full thing, maybe it does. Mars, maybe. Okay, we'll wrap this up because there's only a few more, but I'm going to do this more often because I think this is the most profound video I've had in a long time. There's a lot of pressure, a lot to worry about, until, of course, you realize there's not. Then, not so much. Just kind of a call out to perspective and how you can always shift it. So if I said right now there's a lot of pressure, a lot to worry about, you might be like, yeah. But the moment you realize, okay, I can just not think that. Right? You can just think, oh, I'm in a vast universe and I'm alive, I'm lucky, I'm this, I'm blah, and you just shift it, and all of a sudden, there's no pressure. It's all what you think. And I'll tie this into another quote I have here because I think it works well. One of my favorite quotes. I'm not gonna say I made it, but I didn't find it anywhere. If you say so, is my favorite thing to say. No matter what I tell myself, good, bad, I will challenge any belief I have if you say so. It's powerful. It means the moment that you say something, it is really a belief, right? And once you say, if you say so, it brings this awareness to it to say, okay, I'm affirming this. Am I okay with allowing this to be truth, right? So if I said to myself right now, I will just never be that good, or I can never get a big YouTube channel. If you say so, you chose that, you decided that, you made that choice yourself. And sometimes you might think, no, I didn't. You did. You're always making a choice. There's always a choice. It's a powerful thing if you say so. And I think that ties in with that quote pretty well. What if, no matter the situation, you were okay with where you are because you trusted yourself? I don't know if I have much more to add on that, but it's that being okay with who you are in every moment and almost feeling like you're not uncomfortable in your own skin. I think that's starting to mean a lot more to me. I've heard a clip of Theo Von talking about that. I think it was with Joe Rogan or something, about how he wishes he was more comfortable in his own skin. And it's almost like as we walk around, we're with someone else. And maybe this is just me, but there's this opposing voice that isn't us. And it's this beautiful thing where, what if we could be friends? What if whatever this voice was like your best friend? Like, imagine going somewhere with your best friend, and then imagine that best friend was in your head. So when you mess up with your best friend, what's gonna happen? You're gonna F around, you're gonna laugh, you're gonna whatever the hell you do, right? It's not gonna be this, oh, I'm a loser, no, it's not gonna be like that. But why is it that this voice isn't like that? So, yeah, if you trusted yourself, you would be okay in every situation. But we need to build that trust. We need to make that friendship with the opposing voice. Maybe you feel far from your ideal self, but I also guarantee you're not giving yourself enough credit for where you are now. Enough said there, I think. You're just probably not giving yourself enough credit. Okay, yeah, you can absolutely be a better human through all your goals: fitness, business, why is that all I can think of? Relationships, you know what I mean? Like, whatever it is, mind, body, soul, etc. But give yourself a little bit of credit, because I guarantee you're not. I promise you, you're thinking too small, but you won't see it until you start the journey to your full potential. And this goes for everybody, because even if you're doing well, how could that be your full potential? Because the people who have made a lot of money, why don't they stop? And I'm not saying money's like the ultimate thing, right? But take it in any aspect, right? Why is there this constant pursuit? It's because there's always another step to take. There is no point where you hit full potential. It's not just like, oh, I made the money, I achieved whatever spirituality, I meditated for 1,000 hours, I did this. Okay, done. I'm done life. Is it over? Like, do I clock out now? It's like the full potential is pursuit. There is no final, there's no end. It's the pursuit that is that, but like it's so weird because even now, like I'm thinking small, like I'll think I want this many subs or I want this or I want this. To me, that's huge, but once I get there, it's gonna be like, oh, that was a fraction of my abilities, right? So you're underselling what you are, and I say that to make you feel empowered, to make you feel, oh my gosh, have I been living this life of something that's under me? Don't discredit yourself like that. Like you have so much within you to be unfolded, but you have to let it unfold. Something wants to come out, right? You have to let it. You gotta let it. I'm telling you, man, these glasses. Maybe it's the glasses. Put me into some. Maybe I'm just spewing crap, but last one. I just thought this was another cool, inspired one. Oh, silly human. If only you knew what you really were. Again, another thing I like to imagine God saying at the end of life. You know, once you know everything, once it's over, and you realize, oh, I was in a little fun game for a quick 100 years, and then God just like, if only you knew what you really were. Or even if you heard God's voice right now, and you're like, whoa, what was that? You know what I mean? Like the universe just said that to you, God, the universe, whatever title, Mother Nature, whatever it is. If you just heard that real quick, oh, silly human, if only you knew what you were, you'd be like, what? What just happened? What does that mean? And once again, playing into the idea that full potential, man, or what you really are. Or maybe that goes back to my other thing about like, you are enough now, so is there a full potential? Because I said you'll never achieve it, it's the pursuit. But it's like, are you at your full potential now? But then pursuing it is, because then it discredits it. It's like, okay, well, you should not pursue anything and just, or you could, like, yeah, it's kind of a weird, I don't want to contradict myself, but I also want to actually think this through. I want to like, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully all that makes sense, but that is the end of my quotes. I'm telling you, if you want to bring forth some of the deepest thoughts in your mind, to listen to Purpose is Glorious, End of Loki track, or listen to C418 by Minecraft. Listen to any Minecraft soundtrack. They're beautiful, all beautiful. Chef's kiss. I hope you're well. I really do. I hope life is going amazing, and if it's not, it's okay. I'm literally just here to tell you it's fine. We put labels on things, and it's bad, it's good, and look, like, yeah, sometimes things are bad. I'm not gonna say that it's always just this like, oh, I feel bad for some reason. Like, there are bad things that happen, but even in that, it is okay. And there is still this baseline thing that we call life. No matter what is happening, even if it's so bad, we get to experience it. We get to feel pain. We get to feel sadness. And it's a new lens to look at it through, because it's, oh, I'm sad. Oh, that's weird though. I'm alive, so I get to feel sad. Is that how that works? Is it better to be dead or is it better to be sad? I mean, that's also a topic too. It depends on how deep is the sadness. But even in deep sadness, I still feel like it is still experience, and therefore it is good to experience. It's weird. It's like, even in how I feel now, it's not, yeah, maybe I'm making a mountain out of a molehill here, but like I said, I just felt this kind of weird gloomy feel tonight, and I didn't know why. And I feel like I'm starting to think, like, even in this, I'm grateful. And it's weird because it's like contradicts the feeling. It's like, okay, you're supposed to be upset, and now you're trying to, you're like transforming it into sunshine and rainbows, and it's like, not really. I'm just saying that, like, I have this range of emotions as a human, and it's cool that I get the range lot of the time we have the range, and then we experience them. We're like, no, I don't want that, no. Like, what the hell? And it's like, whoa, this is the human experience. Sadness, happiness, anger, joy, pain, fear, love. And what's going on? You just want to turn off the ones you don't like. That is the human experience. And then if you turn off the ones you don't like, you kind of turn off the ones you do like too. Because if you don't know sadness, you don't know happiness, you don't know fear, you don't know love, etc., etc. Right? Hate and love, I don't, whatever spectrum that is, but you get my point. So start to see this as the human experience. Realize this is okay. This is normal. This is fine for me to feel this way. Right? It's a good way to look at it. It doesn't make me feel happy all of a sudden and pull me out of this, but it gives me perspective. It makes me say, I actually want this feeling because I don't want to get out of it, right? When I say this, it's almost like my brain's like, what are you trying to pull me into happiness? No, I want to experience this like this gloomy, whatever this is. I want it, so don't pull me out of it. It's weird. I don't know if anybody resonates or I sound like an absolute psychopath, but with that said, I really do hope you're well. And again, if you're not, it is fine. I am here. Drop a comment. I will reply. I will like it. I will heart it. I will have an entire conversation with you for the next week if I have to. At this, you know what? I'm going to say it. At this channel, at Silent ASMR, everyone is loved. I don't know why I almost didn't say that. It's a pretty wholesome thing to say. But I was like, is that weird? Screw it. I'm so grateful for all of you. And I just want you to feel that. I want you to feel the sincerity of the words because I mean it. And I'm beyond grateful for how well the channel has been doing lately. And it's what I've been hoping for, asking for, and it manifested in a way that it was just weird. It was just like I didn't even think I was going to do anything with this channel, and then I made a face reveal, and then it was just all weird chain of events, and it's just happened, and I'm just so grateful for the weirdness and the weird way it unfolded, and it's still unfolding in front of me, and I feel like I'm watching the start of something, the start of a really big goal, and I've already hit a goal, but now I feel like I'm like, okay, if I want 100k subs, if I want 1 million subs, like, I'm watching that happen now, and now I have a newfound sense of like, I am no longer upset, like, oh, I'm so far from this sub goal or this whatever. I am now saying, no, I'm going to get there. It's just a matter of time. And it's a total switch up. It's a total switch in mindset to be like, damn it, I'm like 100k away. And now it's like, wow, I get to enjoy the journey to 100k because I just know it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. Like I just said before, I'm repeating myself. So look, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to end this at a 40-minute video, maybe a little under because I might have to cut out. I don't think I have to cut out too many parts, but 1 or 2 interruptions, but leave a comment. I will heart, I will like, I will reply. I love you all. I'm grateful for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Many more to come. I don't know how many days we got in the new year, until the new year, but 2024 is going to be an absolutely banger year, ladies and gentlemen. So with that said, thank you so much for joining me. And I'll catch you in the next video.